Okay, that was amazing. Dana and Odette, I clearly drew the unlucky straw, having to follow that. Thank you so much, Cherie, or Chill into Conscious Poet. You can see from listening to that moving spoken word that the Boys and Girls Club of the Peninsula has the most extraordinary team. On behalf of Dana, Odette, and the host committee, I want to warmly welcome you all to our annual Women's Leadership Breakfast. Thank you to my co-hosts and the wonderful host committee, which keeps growing, you may have noticed, as this breakfast does. We have over 300 people here today. And we are so grateful for this amazing turnout. Most of all, I want to thank Shannon, Isabella, Emily, Isabel, and Eileen. The BGCP staff worked tirelessly on this event, as they do every day for our kids and families. It is so uplifting for me to look out at this audience, see this incredible, powerful group of women representing business, tech, medicine, law, education, the social sector, women who are changing Silicon Valley and changing the world. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for supporting the girls and women in our community. So this is a very difficult time in our country. It's a particularly uncertain, even frightening time for people of color, for the LGBTQ community, for immigrants, and for women. Many of us in this room today fit into several of these categories. But this morning, I want to talk to you about our shared experience as women. After the recent Supreme Court nomination for Brett Kavanaugh, I was left with feelings of helplessness and despair. I was shocked and despondent at how little progress we've made since the Clarence Thomas hearings in 1991. What do I say to my two daughters? What can I do when things seem so difficult and the obstacles for women seem so great and overwhelming? Ultimately, my preference is to reject sadness and pessimism and take action. And that's the example I want to set for my daughters. And that is why we chose Finding Our Voices as the theme of this year's Women's Leadership Breakfast. We're living in a time of deep divides and turmoil in our country, and this can be scary. But one thing we can do in these challenging times, one thing we must do, is decide how we will speak up as women and how we will teach our daughters to speak up and speak their truths, and how we will support girls and women in our community to find their voices. So to find your voice, you need information, education, and confidence. BGCP is not only a safe place and a second family to these girls, but it provides incredible academic and college preparatory programming. The academic and emotional support are exactly what these girls need to ensure a successful future, reach their academic potential, and become active, engaged citizens who can speak up with confidence and conviction. I know that all of you in this room care deeply about the issues facing women and girls in this country. BGCP is the best local organization to partner with to support and mentor girls from disadvantaged backgrounds in our community and create the future leaders that our country desperately needs. And now I have the honor of introducing Esme Ortiz, who will give us an overview of BGCP. She is the fearless leader of our high school and post-secondary success programs. She grew up locally. She's a first-generation college graduate with a BA in sociology from UC Berkeley and a master's in public administration from USC. Esme is an amazing role model for all the kids that go through our programs, and we are so lucky to have her. So thank you, Esme.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Michelle, for that nice introduction. I'm really happy, really excited, pumped to be here this morning, to see so many women here. I didn't come to this last year, so this is my first time here, and it's amazing. I'm going to share a little bit about BGCP, but before I do, I want to share a little bit about myself. When I was growing up, my dad worked as a gardener and my mom as a seamstress. And they worked really hard every single day to be able to provide for my sisters, for myself. And there's three core things that they provided. The first was basic necessities: food, shelter, what we all need. And the second was a lot of love in so many ways. And the third was stability in our home. What they couldn't do was tell me how to get to college. Luckily, in high school, I was part of a college preparation program. And through this program, I received the critical guidance that resulted in my attending UC Berkeley after high school. And as I think about my journey and some of that of my close friends, I had friends that didn't graduate from high school, and others that continued on to community college and still didn't successfully graduate from community college nor transfer to a four-year. And when I think about our journeys, I know that it was never a matter of a lack of skill or talent or intelligence. We were all smart, bright students. The biggest difference was the opportunities that we had access to. And our vision here at BGCP is that all our students, if they work hard, can lead fulfilling lives with a quality education, fair paying job, decent housing, and the ability to raise a family, and have the opportunities like I did when I was in high school. And we know that here in Silicon Valley, it's an incredible place to live. And for far too many, it's a hard place to live. And we know that a lot of young people are going to grow up here to lead fulfilling careers. But for far too many students, especially those living in low-income neighborhoods, the neighborhoods that we're serving, these students are often shut out from the opportunities that make it so incredible to live here. 80% are below proficient, and a third don't even graduate from high school. And I remember I was in my second week on campus at UC Berkeley. I was excited to be in my dorm, and I get a call from one of my childhood friends, one of my friends who didn't graduate from high school. And she told me she had big news. I also had big news. I wanted to share my excitement for Welcome Week and everything I had learned. And she went first, and she said, "I'm pregnant." And in that moment, I knew Pati and I were going to have very different lives for the next 4 years and beyond that. And while much attention is paid to the achievement gap, we believe the root cause is the opportunity gap. For example, 50% of our students' parents didn't graduate from high school. And of those families, they're much like mine, where parents don't have anything beyond an elementary school education. And 40% are considered homeless and lack stable housing. And far too many families lack the social capital necessary to be able to navigate Silicon Valley and navigate school systems, to be able to access the opportunities that exist here. And there's many students, and some of these were my friends, that don't have the luxury to invest in their future because they need to start working now in order to help sustain their families. So what is our solution here at BGCP to bridge the opportunity gap? The foundation of what we do here is build relationships. And the staff here, our volunteers, are role models, are caring adults, are big brothers, big sisters to our students. And the most important thing that we do here is create a sense of safety and belonging through positive relationships. And if you were to ask me to summarize in one word what BGCP is, I'd say we're family. And at the same time, we're so much more than that. And we know that in 2018, in order for our students to truly lead fulfilling lives, they need to be able to access some form of post-secondary education or training, whether that's a 4-year college, a 2-year college, a certificate program, military experience. And so we've changed our mission to school success. And we offer a range of programs to ensure that our students develop the academic and life skills to graduate from high school ready to access some form of post-secondary education or training. For our elementary school students, we provide intensive literacy support so that students are reading at grade level by 3rd grade. And for our middle school students and our freshmen in high school, we're providing individual one-on-one advising. And for our high school students, our upperclassmen, we have my favorite program, Future Grads. And Future Grads help students navigate a post-secondary college and/or career path. And in the summer, we're much busier than during the school year. We are providing our elementary school students with a full day of summer learning. Students are receiving 3 hours of academic instruction from certified teachers, and in the afternoons, they're getting Camp Galileo. And this is through partnerships with school districts. And our high school and college students are gaining tremendous career exposure, but through apprenticeships and paid internships at some of the most amazing companies in this area, like LinkedIn, like YouTube, Google, 23andMe, the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative, and of course, at the VA hospital with our favorite neurosurgeon, Dr. Odette Harris. I don't know if you can see her, but I'm sure the blue scrubs make it a little obvious. Overall, our students are receiving 700 hours of additional learning time. That's 60% over what they're getting in the school day alone. And while we're doing a lot around academic success, we have also seen an increased need for mental health support. And so we have a full-time therapist at our high school center and are providing other mental health support services through partnerships at our other sites. And we're doing all of this, all our programs, all our services, we're offering all of this in the heart of the Peninsula. In the low-income neighborhoods in Redwood City, in Eastern Menlo Park, in East Palo Alto, just a few miles radius of where we are right now. We have 2,600 students actively attending our programs 4 days a week. And they're attending one of our 13 sites, 3 clubhouses and 10 school sites. And one critical differentiator, I always say this, here at BGCP, we welcome all students. And I want to share a little bit about why I am part of Team BGCP and have been for the past 8 years. And it's because we're making impact. We are changing the trajectory of students' lives. We're transforming communities. And that was very apparent to me early on when I started 8 years ago and has been reinforced year after year here. And there's one moment in particular I want to highlight from earlier this year. It was at our Future Launch event, which I'm sure some of you attended. And Future Launch event is where all our seniors announced their fall plans. And I gave some closing remarks that day. And I had Jenny Ruiz come up to me after. And Jenny Ruiz is a freshman at UC Merced. She came up to me and she said, Esme, I want to thank you for inspiring me for the past 3 years. You are a woman of color in a leadership position. And I was lost for words. As I was looking at her, as she was telling me this, I felt what I have felt year after year. I saw myself in Jenny, much like I see myself in many of the students that we serve here. I am one of these students. And when I present to parents, to groups of parents, I see my own parents in the audience. And today, I'm really fortunate to have my mom here in the audience. This is one of the first times that she hears me and sees me present. And I know that she is proud that I have made a career out of helping students like me and helping families like ours. And I thank you for your support, your continual support, and for being part of Team BGCP. Thank you.